So I'm Blair Reynolds, and I'll tell you what I do for a living. What I do as my job is travel all over the world to interview the most powerful people in business. So this has been my employment for a couple of years, but it's been my passion for over a decade. So what I love to do is get in front of people that have transcended the marketplace, that have completely disrupted industries, and learn from them. And in particular, we like to distill the things that separates them from the rest of the public. So for example, there's probably 1 or 2% of the population that makes that transcendent change, that transcendent pivot in their lives, where they are fully fulfilled, but they're also rocking in the marketplace. They're killing it in business. And these are the people I'm interested in. It's not necessarily the biggest billionaires, it's the people that have that two-sided coin mentality when it comes to their lives. So, that being the case, I know I promised you the 5 components of what makes a successful person, and here's what I would say. The first one that is very clear is identity. So, that's an interesting question, or it's an interesting idea, isn't it? Identity, what is it? An identity is who you are when nothing else is around and you're not being influenced by anyone or anything. So it's what you are in that resting state. And it doesn't mean that you're inactive, it just means when you have no other pressures determining who you are as an individual. So the people that have transcended their marketplace, that's what they've had to step into. An identity where they actually recognize who they are. They understand who they are as an individual and they express it to the world. And the reason that the world responds so healthily to those individuals is they feel that they're authentic. They feel that they're their true selves. They feel that who they are is who they're representing themselves to be. And so an identity is not only, I know who I am, but it's I know what I want. I know what I want to accomplish. I know who I want to be around. I know all the things that I want to do in my life. And it doesn't mean perfectly, it doesn't mean all in one day, but it means that they're living from a state of rest because they're living from who they are and not what the world has taught them to be, not who their family has taught them to be, not who the business marketplace is telling people to be. They are living from their own center. So that's number 1. Number 2 is community. Now listen to any motivational speaker in the world and they'll tell you this. The people that you surround yourself with are the greatest determiners of where you'll be in 2, 3, 5 years as any other variable. And most people, they just have friends, right? You just have people around you, friends and family, and they think like you do, they feel like you do, they act like you do, they do business like you do. But let's say that you want to grow. Let's say that you want to take your business from $100,000 a year to $100 million. It's going to take a lot more than just business sense. You actually have to have the people around you that think in those terms and they think at that scale. And it's hilarious because the people that think at that scale, they all associate with one another. And what looks like an insider's club from the outside is actually just a bunch of people that love being together. They love working together. They constantly sharpen one another. And it's not just to do with money, even though money can be a symptom of that kind of prosperity type of lifestyle. So these individuals that you're surrounding yourself with, I want you to take a look. Look around your life and say, are these individuals the kind of people that I can grow with? Are they the kind of people where I can just maintain the same level? Or are they the kind of people where if I stay with them, I'm actually gonna be going backwards in my life? And it's just a hard, cold check into where you are. And what you wanna do is you want to have relationships in your life where they're ahead of you, where they're people that are gonna call out your best. And at very minimum, you wanna have those people that are constantly addicted to growth. Those people that want to be their best selves, so they're constantly investing in themselves and investing in their understanding of the business world, in relationships, and in their own personal identity. It doesn't mean disassociate from all your old friends. It just means start creating new, healthy relationships that are gonna point you in the direction you need to go. Which brings me to number 3. So the number 3 component that's gonna help you in this journey is mindset. Now, how many of you, almost like a buzzword, have heard going from a poverty mindset to an abundance mindset? And sometimes it's said a little differently, maybe scarcity to prosperity, but they mean the same thing. Here's what they mean. They mean, When you're in a scarcity or a poverty mindset, you're always trying to gather, you're always trying to preserve what little you have. You're generally not very generous. And here's a huge indicator of a scarcity and poverty mentality. Other people are the determiners of your fate. Whether that means that you're receiving from them in some kind of handout, or these people control your future like a boss or a spouse or anything else, it essentially means the world is responsible for me and I don't take 100% responsible for myself. And it also means that there's a finite number of dollars available in the world. There's this limited number of resources that we all have to fight over in this zero-sum game where somebody's gonna win, somebody's gonna be the victor and hold all these hoarding of riches, and the other people are gonna lose. So you're gonna fight one another to win it. The abundance and prosperity mindset is the complete opposite. What it says is value and money can be created. By working together, we actually both benefit. By empowering others, we get to grow and prosper in our own lives. There's no limit to what we can accomplish, and here's the beauty of that mindset. You never have to worry about the right deal, the right opportunity, or meeting the right person. The reason being, there are plenty of opportunities, there's plenty of right individuals, there's plenty of situations where you can thrive, so you're never worried about getting rejected or missing the boat or having to conserve everything that's left in your world because there's plenty. And in an ironic twist, when your mindset shifts into that direction, you will have so much available to you almost instantaneously that you couldn't even believe it. Just the switch in your mindset will do things in the physical world and also in the quantum world to make these things happen. Which brings us to our fourth thing. The fourth thing is personal value. I want to pause there because that's something that people don't consider. They don't think that they themselves can have value because there are so many mixed messages in the world that if you have value in who you are and if you sow into who you are, you're actually robbing from somebody else. It's a part of the scarcity mentality. Basically, it's saying, if I care about me, I'm not caring about you. If I take care of me, I'm not taking care of you. The opposite is absolutely the truth. The truth is, the people that provide the most to the world have the most personal value. Call it self-value. They believe that they're worth an incredible amount, and because of that, they're able to receive an incredible amount, whether it's money, resources, insights, relationships, but they're also able to give that much more. It's really simple. You can only give what you have, right? But you can only receive what you believe you deserve. So anybody that receives more success than they believe they have self-value will sabotage that success. So the more you can increase your self-value, the more you can receive prosperity, relationships, and all these good things into your life. But there's a next step to it. So once you begin to have that personal and self-value, then you can create valuable skill sets, valuable things that you know can be monetized for the marketplace. And every successful person has spent an intensive time learning something that has incredible value. And they've learned that in such a way that they understand it and can teach it and offer it to the marketplace. So once they have that skill set, they have personal value and they're extending that personal value to a certain skill set that is important for them to be able to produce it and offer it to the marketplace, which brings us to point number 5. Successful business people have a product that the marketplace responds to. What does that mean? So a lot of us, we go into business and we think, we've got an idea and we're so excited about it, you should be excited too. The fact is, a lot of times the ideas that we're excited about have no value for the marketplace and nobody cares about. Here's when you know you're onto a product or onto a service that people care about, that people are gonna respond to, that is gonna generate interest, activity, and profits. You know, because even when it's in its most kernel form, even if it's in its most tiniest seed form, when you share it with people, or when you show it to people, or you demonstrate it to people, they respond. They have that look in their eyes like, oh, I want this. Oh, I need this. This is what I've been waiting for. This is a solution to my problem. And here's the alternative. The alternative is you tell them something, you share something with them, and they get this quizzical look on their eyes like, so what are you saying? Why do I need this? I'm confused. And sometimes I'll grant you that there's a verbiage thing where you just need to refine sharing the concept, but a lot of times those concepts that really can disrupt the market and create phenomenal products that most successful people embrace, there's already a proof of concept where people have responded to it in its most tiny form, even in just a tiny pivot form where they're just testing out the market, and when the market responds, you know you've got something. And it's these steps, these 5 things, that every person that's successful I've interviewed has gone through. They're the things that they understand. They're the things that they live and breathe and constantly learn and sharpen themselves in. So with you, you're gonna be a phenomenally successful entrepreneur if you look at these as pillars. If you look at these as areas that you can invest in constantly, where you're refining it, you're learning more, you're bringing in mentors, you're bringing in teachers, you're associating with people that'll discuss them, because there are hundreds of applications to any of these giant pillars. Because you're gonna have something that is gonna help you further on this journey that every successful person has gone through.